Hey everyone, this is Bowie Dota bringing you another episode of Learn with Dotabuff's top 100 players. Today's episode is on Bounty Hunter, a hero that is often played as offlaner and sometimes as a support. Since their approach on the game is similar regardless of role, I decided to use replays of both. The main difference between roles is the amount of gold and EXP that you get in the first 10 minutes of the game. But the constant harass, ganking, courier sniping is still there. Before watching this video, be sure that you have played Bounty Hunter a few times and have an idea on how the hero works. While this is a guide, it's not a guide on how to play the hero. It's a guide on specific tricks that are useful for playing Bounty Hunter, as well as how the supposedly best players approach the item and skill build. First, I want to talk statistics. The biggest one is, you're not going to believe it, 0% of players went Battle Fury. Yes, 0%. Okay, now that I've got that out of my system, let's talk starting item builds. There's definitely not a go-to build, but there are two main ones. Boots, Tango and Clarity are usually chosen against strong tri-lanes and dual lanes. It may seem counterintuitive to not get a lot of regen against deadlier lanes. The reasoning is that you won't have time to tango or salve against a 3-man gank, making Boots the best option to survive aggression early on. The other build usually consists of 2 regen items, Stout Shield and Clarities, or branches, depending on the style of the player. This build is good when the enemy team has a jungler or a weak tri-lane. Because of his high armor, Bounty Hunter is really good at trading hits, and the regen amplifies that advantage. Blocking the pull camp and warding in general is really effective with Bounty Hunter, since you can lay down the wards without the enemy seeing you. Be sure to shadow walk in the fog though, when going back, to avoid detection. Bounty Hunter is really good scouting runes. He can easily snatch them if people don't stand right on top of the rune spot. Be sure to check if someone is carrying Sentry or Dust at the 0-minute mark. Of all 6 runes in the first 10 minutes of the game, Bounty Hunters usually try to contest at least 3 of them every game. This shows that the style of play is usually roaming and trying to deny runes from mid, as well as use them as an advantage when ganking. Strangely, Bottle is picked only in 20% of the games, usually by support Bounty Hunters. Boots is the first core item a Bounty Hunter will get, followed 80% of the time by Orb of Venom. With this, they can gank any lane and make sure they can keep up with their target, even without having track available. The follow-up after that is a mess, since there is really no clear preferred path apparently. Bounty Hunter has a lot of deficiencies that need to be addressed. He's squishy and has low mana pool, but a hungry skill set. Also, he wants to benefit from all track kills, so even though he wants to fight a lot, he wants to survive team fights. There are different approaches to deal with that. The 2 preferred items are Phase Boots and Drums. Phase Boots give the chasing power, while Drums give mana and HP that his low stats gan can supply. After these 2, the most picked items are Vlad's, Urn, Dagon, Dagger and Yasha, all of them around 30% pick rate. It's worth mentioning that Medallion was not picked in any game. Apparently the gold increase and the buff to Urn make them more suitable for a ganking hero like Bounty Hunter. Jinada at level 2. 90% of the players maxed Shuriken Charles at level 7 and 80% of the players would leave Shadow Walk at level 1 or 2 until maxing all other skills besides stats. That's usually because you can use the bonus damage from Shadow Walk twice, with level 1 and 2. Since they have a larger fade time, you can actually attack before the invis procs. While that may seem like a win-win, sometimes the longer fade time can work against you, so be careful. During the laning phase, when against an 1 vs 1, you can easily last hit with the Shadow Walk technique. You can trade hits with ease, and if you have enough regen, you usually want to contest runes and check the jungle, when they have a weak one, like X, Lycan, Lifestealer, Troll. If the lane is too hard, you can sap EXP from pools and from their jungler, as well as gank if you're already level 2. Always pay attention to support's inventories when ganking, and when roaming, always use your invisibility in juke spots and fog. After level 6, unless you have a heavily farming team, you want to gank lanes and stay out of sight as much as possible. When against good opponents, you will undermine their farm, and against bad ones get easy kills if they don't respect your presence. After the track buff, you're capable of spamming track every 4 seconds with 1.2k range. Be sure to track people that are being focused and always use shuriken toss in non-track targets, unless the target you want to kill is too far away. Also, don't forget that if you use your track from fog, your animation is not seen by the opponent, making it harder to actually detect its usage. When ganking solo kills, always look at the enemy's inventory. You always leave shuriken as a finalizer, since the enemy can TP if you use it too soon. In the late game, you want to spam track every time you possibly can. The amount of information that can be gathered is huge, and can delay Roshan and other objectives because track is revealing it. In teamfights, you usually want to start with invis right click, plus track, and back a little. Your right click damage is not that great after the crit, and you want to live to spam more tracks and use more shurikens, as well as get the bounty of those kills. That's why dagger build is starting to get famous, especially after the dagger buff that costs no mana. Pay attention to this replay. With the help of dagger, Bounty Hunter can get flawless positioning. He spams track as much as possible, never committing too much for any kill that would kill him. He also prioritizes tracking targets that are getting focused. Urn helps a lot, securing the kills as well as burning refraction charges later. Dagon is really good because it gives mana that Bounty Hunter craves, and gives the ability to burst targets. Since kills on Bounty Hunter are way more valuable because of track, Dagon is actually a good pickup as well. Even though I said that you want to live during teamfights, don't be too worried if you die in some, especially if your allies can survive to get track gold and if you're getting important kills. Thanks for watching. As always, if you feel that this video was not helpful enough or lacked important information, feel free to inform me in the comment section or via private message. If you want to get the Excel sheet or the replays analyzed, check the video description. You can find my social media information as well as the song information there. If you liked this video, check the poll and vote for the next role I should be covering. Also, subscribe to the channel and like this video.